Yeah, hi. I thought I'd do a quick video on the insulated panels that are supplied by Kingspan. Um, so what I've done is I'm in the National BIM Library here, and to get access to the BIM Library, you have to go and register with them, and that's fine. You can do that. I typed in Kingspan, and they've got fair play to them. They've got a huge amount of materials here in the National BIM Library. So if you go to their website, go to the Kingspan website, it'll direct you to the National BIM Library because they're using them to host all of their panels. So I've downloaded a few of these. I downloaded this one in particular. Okay, this is the KS600 100 AWP, and I'm going to shift this out of the way here now. Now they come as projects, as Revit projects, so they're not families as such. And but this is what we get now. That's a fancy looking picture of the actual panels themselves. And you can see that there's a whole variety of different panels here. So there's a couple of interesting things here that I think you should know. First of all, these are tags, and there is a whole different selection of walls here. I'll go into a 3D view of this and show you now. So did you ever open a present at Christmas that had lovely wrapping and all of that, and you got so excited to open it up? When you opened it up, you got a lump of coal or something like that. That's the feeling you get when you open up these. But that's just because the panels themselves are pretty basic in terms of their makeup. Now, what is interesting is when you actually dig into this. So if I take one of those panels and I come over to it's and these are walls rather than panels. I should be calling them. They're walls rather than panels because that's how they're going to operate. That's the category they're going to operate within your Revit project here. So we got some instance properties here, okay, and we've got some ID properties in there. But probably where this becomes into its own is actually in the type properties. So we got our usual construction parameters here: is wrapping at ends, inserts, all that kind of stuff there. Core scale, fill color, all of that. Now, that's interesting that there's no analytical properties. So we'd have to go and build up our analytical properties based on the makeup of the panel itself. That's a little disappointing that that's not coming in with it. So we get into IFC parameters here, and IFC parameters are a requirement if you are going to have your manufactured units hosted by NBS, and they are if you go to transfer your model into IFC or something like that, so that it can be opened up in other applications. That's important. So that's the transfer of data within these IFC parameters here. Now, these are probably a little bit more interesting to us operating in the native format. So we've got our MBS descriptions. Now, tons and tons and tons of really good info here, tons and tons and tons of really good data here, product compatibility profiles, all that type of stuff, long span. U value, okay, so they've got an analytical parameter in here of a U value. That's good to know, and it's got a weight, and it's got lots of other parameters. So rather than it's the way they look, it's the information, it's the data that they contain, and that's what becomes interesting at this point here. Okay, I'll pick it up in part two.